Thank you. The next question, the member for Cambridge.
Speaker, good morning. My question is for the Premier. The other day, the Premier gave us his glib tough guy act, saying that he only wanted new Canadians that were willing to work hard rather than sit around all day. A comical choice of words coming from a Premier whose political career wasn't built on hard work, but rather on the reputation of his father and his late brother. And even funnier, considering that since getting elected, the Premier often goes missing from the public eye for long stretches, as he did for most of the summer. Perhaps the Premier was projecting and referring to his own lack of hard work when making these comments. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier admit that his crude comments about working hard were simply a diversion to distract from the fact that his government's policies have resulted in thousands of Ontarians losing their jobs over the last year and a half?
Supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The government's defence of the Premier's statements were equally comical. First, the Premier said he is pro-immigrant, as evidenced by the crowds of people that would attend Ford Fest and receive calls from the late Mayor of Toronto. Well, I have news for you. People didn't go to Ford Fest to see the Premier. They went to see his late brother, Rob. And the Premier isn't the one who built a reputation on hard work and calling people back. That was also his late brother, Rob. Maybe the Premier hasn't realized yet what my family and all of Ontario now know. He's not Rob Ford. Second, the Deputy Premier said the government is in favour of even more immigration, more than the 450,000 a year their friend Justin Trudeau has set, which is about double the number under the previous Harper government. Can the Premier tell us how much higher he wants immigration to increase, considering that at the same time he wants more immigrants, his government has been putting Ontarians out of work continuously on a daily basis for the last 3 years?
And to reply on behalf of the Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I certainly won't dignify the first part of that question with an answer in any way, shape or form. It's certainly not why the people of the province of Ontario elected us here, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to immigration, I think this government has been very clear. The Premier has been very clear. That we need more people to come to the province of Ontario. We have a significant amount of jobs that need to be filled so that we can continue growth, economic growth and prosperity across the province of Ontario, Mr. Speaker. We can only do that if more people were to come to the province of Ontario, as they have for generations, Mr. Speaker. I mean, I am a minister in a government. My parents came in the late 50s, 1960s. The Minister of Education is in the same way. We have a parliamentary assistant who fled the Soviet Union. We have the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Finance, the digital government minister, the Minister of Seniors, Mr. Speaker.